What's the number one skill that all entrepreneurs need to master? Think about it. Any industry that you're in, whether you're in the knowledge-based, service industry, or you're in, maybe any kind of, say, digital marketing, or if you're, into personal branding, if you're into any aspect of business growth or personal development, you name any industry. What's the number one thing that we need to master? It is not content creation, or even if you say if it's building your service or your product, it's persuasion skills. And that's why I created this video. Hi, I'm Diya Asrani and welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you really like what you see, then do subscribe to my channel for all things related to personal branding, building your presence and making you a powerful leader in your industry. So in this video, I want to specifically talk about the number one skill that we all need to master, persuasion skills. Now there are other important skills that you really need to master, but the number one thing to actually make your business grow is how you persuade people. Think about it. Whether it's any service that you create, or any coaching program that you build, or it's any concept that you have actually launched now, and you want to persuade people, you want to tell people to come to you for that. How do you do it? It's developing a skill. So that's why I said I'll make it very short and simple and very quick for you, where I try and help you understand how you can actually master 7 tips that will allow you to build your persuasion skills. So shall we jump in? So the very first thing that I want to talk about is stay calm and composed. A lot of people feel that when they have to sell something, they have to, be on the edge. Those days are gone where you have to be on the edge and you try and sell and get your targets. But yes, everyone has targets. But I want to tell you one thing, that if you be calm and composed, if you actually, you trust your service, you trust your product, and you trust the quality of what you do, definitely people will come to you. You don't have to force it on them. So first things first is stay calm and composed. And this is it's actually quite underestimated when it comes to this part. Because when you're building your persuasion skills, it's not just about being desperate and getting them to join your community or wherever you are having them to join, right? It is about actually convincing them and doing it with a lot of calmness. Okay, that's the beauty of persuasion. That's the first skill. The second part, which I want to talk about in terms of persuasion skills, which is another skill that you can master under persuasion, is listen more, talk less. Okay, now a lot of sales people, what they do is, when you see a traditional salesperson who calls you on the phone and tells you that, okay, I'm selling this, we're selling a loan, you want to get into a personal loan, you want to buy this card, you want to buy that credit card. There are so many things that people call for, but they directly get to the point. Now, I'm not saying that you beat around the bush, but what I'm saying is that you need to listen to what your person wants. Like, suppose if I have a coaching program, okay, and it's in personal branding, and I just randomly give you a call, hey, I'm doing something on personal branding, it's a coaching program, it's 10 sessions, it costs this much. What are you going to think? You'll be like, she's not been gone through my problems, she's not been asked me what I want, she's not been asked me about my challenges. What if I don't even want personal branding? Right? This is exactly what happens when we see traditional sales people do their bit. Okay, now those things have changed. Now in your case, if you want to sell your services, you have to be okay to listen more and talk less. You have to be able to ask them questions and answer in return in terms of how you can help them in that particular problem that you're planning to solve for them. Okay, so that's the second skill. Now the third skill, or the tip that I want to talk about under persuasion skills, is give solutions, not features and techniques. People are not buying features and techniques. Please remember that. They are buying something that is a simple solution to their problems. Now if you have a problem, there's a problem that you want to solve in terms of, say, weight loss, right? You want to help people lose more weight and lead a healthy lifestyle, or whatever the problem is that they want to solve. You have to come up with a simple solution. Okay, you don't have to tell them, oh, through this technique, that feature also is available. Now the features and techniques can come much later, but what they actually buy is the solution that you are giving to their problem. Okay, so focus on the solution. So any product, any service that you're designing, I want you to think about the benefits that you're giving them. Okay, I want you to think about what would be the solution. So think about, what if they join your community or join your service or they buy your product? What will happen next? What are they going to do? So have all that already set when you're trying to persuade somebody. Features and techniques are secondary. They work, but they're secondary. Like, you can say, oh, with this you're also getting a free course, you're also getting, you're going to be part of my free community, you'll get a call, you'll get this, you'll get that. You can stack it up. But firstly, are you solving their problem? Alright? So that is the third skill that I want to talk about. Give solutions and not techniques and features. Okay? Now the fourth thing that I want to talk about is have an answer to every objection. This is where people have cold feet. Okay, especially entrepreneurs, when they have cold feet, they say, oh, now she said that she's not interested, what do I answer? Okay, so when somebody says that, look, I don't think this will work for me, you can ask them, what do you think is not going to work for you? Help me understand what will work for you. Say for example, if they have issues with how much it costs, you can say, look, I'm giving you so much value, you don't have to bring down the rate or anything like that. That doesn't work in this. Right? Because you are giving a lot of value, but you can make sure you can validate it. You can say that, look, I'm giving you this plus this plus this. I mean, if you go anywhere else, I don't think you will get the same thing. Okay? So this is another way to do it. So always remember that have an answer for objections. Any kind of objections. Oh, I don't have time, or I have to go and ask my husband, wife, I don't know, friend, best friend, I have to ask all those people. Have something to answer back. To give them that, okay, look, if you have this, how can I help you? Right? How else can I help you? Now after that, if they don't feel like joining a program, don't force them. It's just that it's not only them that are there, who's there to actually buy your service or product. There are so many people in the world who need your product or service. So you can focus on those people. Who knows, tomorrow they might just come back and they might just say that, okay, look, I really want, now it's my time. I have enough time on my my hands. I can just go ahead and do it. Okay? So that is important. Have answers for objections. Now the fifth point that I want to talk about is focus on achieving results. Okay, it's also a skill. In the end, you're focusing on achieving results. You're saying that whatever it takes, I will get you the result. Now the result can be a tangible result. It can be something that they feel better. Say for weight loss, as I gave you the example initially in this video, that you get lose X amount of kilos, or whatever the case is. But you have to understand that only people will go with what you do depending on the results that they see. If they feel that, okay, these are the results that they resonate with, then they will join you. Now, don't be disheartened that you're shown so many results and they still didn't join you. It's okay, because probably they are not looking for that. But there are 100 other people, maybe thousands of people who are actually looking for that kind of result. So hang in there. Okay, so if you can't persuade that one person who's not been able to or not joining your program, please don't be disheartened. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're bad at it, but yes, of course, you need practice to see what would it work. So what I usually tell my clients and my students, what I tell them is, I tell them that look at this client, okay, look at her challenges or look at his challenges and problems, work around that. Now if you have an online course which is already pre-recorded, it's not solving the problems, that's different. But if it's a coaching program, consultation or anything, you can always work around what they have said. Okay, so that's another way to do it. All right, so that's about results. Now the sixth thing is keep it simple to understand. People should not ask you too many questions that, oh, I didn't really get this, I didn't understand this. They should be like, oh, so easy, I can also understand. Okay, so any layman should be able to understand what you're offering them. That would also persuade them to think more about your product or service. Okay, so the more simple it is, the more easier it gets for people to convert. Okay, so the minute it gets very, like very hi-fi, high-funda, and you have all these different ideas coming in front of them, they'll be like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I cannot take this. Okay, so always keep it simple. Simplicity also is a skill I feel under persuasion, because I also realized I used to make these mistakes. I said, people love creative stuff, they love doing all these things. But I didn't think of the fact that, things could be simple. The whole point is simplifying things so that people come to you. The more you make it simple, the more people will come to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, so that's your sixth tip or your sixth skill under persuasion skills. Now, the seventh and final skill that I want to talk about is permission to talk about how you can help them. Always ask for permission. Is it okay if I can share how I can help you in this? Would you like to hear a bit about how I can, what I can offer you? Yes, of course. Right? You'll find maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 in 100 or 1,000 people who will say no, right? Because you're asking them the question, you're asking for their permission. So ask for their permission. and then go ahead and go all out into talking about your service or product. See, when you ask them, right, they have this whole thing of saying, okay, you have the right to, you have spent so much time listening to me, now you have the right to share what is it that you're going to be offering me. Now, if you start pitching and saying in the beginning of the call, or before anything, you start just pitching and telling them, look, I have this thing to offer you, they're not going to really take you seriously. So you have to prime them a little, you have to tell them a little bit about it, make them be more aware of their problems, and then try and persuade them more and more. Once they see the sense in what you're doing, it becomes a lot more easier for them to come to you and to make a decision. Say, okay, I'm going to join you. That's how it works in persuasion. It's not difficult, but it just needs some practice. Okay, so let's run through the 7 tips. First thing is stay calm and composed. Second is listen more, talk less. Very important. Third is give solutions, not features or techniques. Fourth is have an answer to objections. Fifth is focus on achieving results. Very important. Sixth is keep it simple to understand. And finally, 7th is ask permission to talk about how you could help them. Making sense? If it does, then put in the comments and tell me what have you learned from this entire video. Do take lots of notes. You can go back to the beginning of the video and understand how you can build your persuasion skills. Alright, so if you really liked what you see, if you enjoyed this video and if you got some value from it, then do like and subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to see you more, and rather you're going to see me more in more videos, and I'm going to be talking about similar topics, and that too on personal branding and all things related. So I look forward to seeing you watch more of my videos. Bye.